Here is the Mindset Reset Journal. I'm so excited for you to get started on this because this really is a tool for you not only to write your goals, but to help you understand where you would like to write your goals. In fact, that's one of the questions that we get. I just don't know where to set my goals. So there's tools in here to help you do that. The tool that helps you do that is the first exercise, which is the 360-degree life review. It's a great tool a bit of a diagnostic tool in your life. Where am I right now? How am I feeling about the different aspects of my life, and what does that look like for me in relation to where I want to set my goals? So generally the lower scores are where we would then set our goals in. It could be different for you, but that can be an indicator for you. If you're scoring low, potentially let's set a goal in there and let's try to bring that up. But you don't always just have to do this in relation to goals. It could just be a good diagnostic and check-in tool for you. If you're feeling a bit low, bring this out and go, hang on, why? Where am I feeling low? What is actually going on for me? And potentially there's some stuff that you could work on in that area at any point in order to make yourself feel a little bit better, not just for your goal setting. So a really good tool, as I said, not just for goal setting, but for checking in on yourself. There's even a section in here on what are those areas in the 360-degree life review. What do they mean? Because we've got environment and community and spirituality. Sometimes they can be a bit ambiguous to people if we don't really know what that means. So there's a section in there, helps you find out. Then we go into actually setting your goals, how to set your goals, how to write them. We start with a big 7-year goal, which is what we need to do. We dream about what we would really love to have, and one of the most important things in there is that you think like a 7-year-old or a 5-year-old. And how does a 5-year-old think? They think that anything is possible, and that's the most important, is that you can think that anything is possible in your 7-year goal. Then we come back to our more of a short term and medium term and long term, which is short term is 1 to 3 months, medium term is 6 months, and then the long term is 1 year. You can see you've got these templates here, helps you to fill out an actual goal, and then the idea is then you can either you can take them out of the book and pop them up, or you can photocopy them and put them up, and the idea is to read them each and every day. There's goal examples to help you understand what you need to, what goals you would like to write. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to set a goal in an area, but I don't know what that goal might look like. There's some prompting and helpful tools in there. Then we go through some other helpful exercise called Grow, helps you understand what actions you need to then start to work on your goal. Some motivation as well. I'm reading through some inspired notes. And then we go through why. Why do I actually want to achieve those goals? Now, your why is so important. If you don't know your why, then it's very easy to get distracted by everything else that comes up in life. Know your why and you'll link value to your goal. If you don't know your why, it's hard to get motivation. It's like just something else on your to-do list. So when you dig down into your why, it's really about taking some really great focus and honing it in on that goal and saying, this is why I want that, and I'm actually going to go for it. Great exercise in there for you to have a look at that. Hey, we're only in chapter 2. So chapter 3 is all around taking responsibility. We'll take you through the above and below the line exercise, which is fantastic for, finding out what your 50% is in this, which means, hey, how can I shift? How can I change? Some really great quality questions. What does it look like when I'm potentially living below the line? And how do I move above the line? How do I take accountability for what's actually happening? Works you through the exercise. Again, print it out, put it up, put it near your goals, and make sure you check in on that each and every day. Then we go into an exercise called Clean Up Your Thinking. Now, this isn't what you're thinking. This is just around unhelpful thinking styles. And it's fantastic because when we are first looking into negative thinking or the ways in which we think which is unhelpful, to group them into categories can really help to identify those unhelpful thoughts that we think all the time, but we just don't know are unhelpful. So go through that, identify what categories that you're most likely to do from unhelpful thoughts perspective, and then go and learn how to pivot on those thoughts. The art of positive thinking goes into that a lot more. But this is sort of identifying those categories you're most likely to do, and then what are some alternative thoughts in there, how to change it, and a thought journal in there as well to say, okay, well then this is how I would do it. Now, once you write in your journal, that's fine. It's not like it's ended. You can then take those questions and just do it in another journal if you want to do it again and again. And I highly recommend that. You just don't go through these exercises once. You do them more than once in your life. We then, after cleaning up your thinking, we go to your focus, which talks about our circle of influence, how we are influenced by everyone that we hang around, and then also how do we focus on the things that we can change. So what's in our circle of concern and what can we actually influence? So it's a really eye-opening exercise, because much of our time goes towards us focusing our energy on things that we just don't have any control over. So I'll help you identify that, and it really works through an exercise to help you shift that focus from really my energy is going to a place where I just don't have any control over. And then it talks about your circle of influence. What can you actually influence? And part of that is the people in your circle of influence, because you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. Yes, I know, it's incredible when you really start to think about it and go, wow, I absorb everything that is around me, and if I'm the average of these 5 people, then what does that actually look like? And it's not about removing people from your life. It's about going, okay, what is my goal, and who is succeeding in that area already, and how do I spend more time with them, or how do I bring them into my life a little bit more? Because what we focus on, we move towards. So we want to make sure that our circle is supporting our goals. And if it's not, as I said, it's not about removing them. You can if you want, if that's something that you want to do, but just bring in more people that you can focus on that are actually achieving and doing what you would like to do in your life. We then go to an exercise called the positive view. It's a confidence builder. Helps you understand yourself, what your ego is, and the difference between an ego and self-esteem. And then helps you to build your self-esteem and write some positive things about yourself. Very interesting exercise because it can be hard to do. So go through that and then build upon that, and you can read that too. If you're not feeling very confident about yourself in any moment, go back to your list and go, what do I really think about myself? And think hard, like don't just go, I don't know. There's some prompters in here, but think hard, or maybe ask someone else, hey, what would you think of the qualities about me? And it'll lead you through exactly how to do that. Final exercise is all around visualization. So helping our mind to see what we actually want in that goal process. It takes you through templates of how to visualize, and then placing you into a template. Maybe it's a health visualization, maybe it's a career visualization, and gives you some questions to go through to get that visualization in your mind, because unless you see your goal already happening in your mind's eye, it can be very hard to achieve, because you need to believe and see yourself achieving these goals. And the more you can do that with your mind's eye, the more you can see yourself, the more likely you are to achieve it quicker or at all. So you need to be able to see this, and visualization helps it. Sports stars, a lot of business people, this is a technique that sports psychology uses all the time. There's many reports about how athletes have used this to imagine themselves winning that medal, being at the front of the race, and seeing themselves cross the finish line, and using those techniques, and especially sometimes in injury as well when they can't physically train. It'll take you through those steps, it'll work you through that, and there is lots of inspired notes pages in there for you to just write down whatever comes to your mind. Maybe you just go, oh, that was a good point, I'm going to write that down, or oh, I thought about that. Just write that down as an inspired notes page in there. So there you have it, the Mindset Reset Journal. This was our first ever journal that we created, and we love it. It's our ever popular one. Go through it, set your goals, be sure to put them up, read them every day, and check in on your mindset. Is it positive? And if it's not, make the shifts required to then go and achieve your goals. Thanks so much. Bye.